Good morning, children. Today we are going to read chapter 2 of your literature book, More Than True, written by Rabindranath Tagore. We all enjoy stories told by our grandparents. They tell us their own experiences, sometimes stories from Mahabharata or Ramayana. Sometimes their funny stories make us laugh. The story More Than True by Rabindranath Tagore beautifully depicts the innocent nature of children. Tagore implies that children are none other than fairies from the fairyland and that they are so true and more than true. In this chapter, the grandfather tells a story which has many funny names of rivers, cities, mountains, birds, and trees. He portrays himself as a crown prince of Bengal who marries the beautiful princess of China. The grandfather is the sort of a person who is never ready beforehand. Now let us read this interesting story and enjoy. Grandpa, that more than truth you were talking about the other day is to be found only in fairyland? Not at all, my dear, said I. There's a lot of it in this world of ours. You only need to look. But of course, you must have the eye to spot it. Can you see it? Children, this is the conversation between a grandchild and grandfather. That's one power I do have. I certainly catch the sight of things that aren't meant to be seen. When you sit by my side learning your geography, I remember my own studies. That Yangtze River of yours, children, this is again a funny name. Every time I read the name, it conjured. It means appears as if by magic. Up a kind of geography that was absolutely no use in passing exams. Even now, I can start that long caravan. It means horse cart with its enormous load of silk. I once found a place on the back of one of those camels. Come off it, Grandpa. I know you never rode a camel in your life. Really, Didi, you ask too many questions. Never mind, go on. What happened then? Where did you get a camel from? There another question already. I never worry about finding camels. I simply climb onto one. Whether or not I visit other lands, nothing stops me from traveling. That's the way I am. Well, what happened after that? Grandfather continued his story. After that, I passed through so many grand cities one by one. Fuchang, Hangzhou, Changkang. I crossed so many deserts, finding my way at night by the stars. And then I came upon the jungle at the foot of the Ushkush mountains, past olive groves, through vineyards, along pine forests. I fell among thieves, and a great white bear rose on its hind legs in front of me. When did you find the time to wander like that? Oh, I traveled while the class was busy with their exams. But how did you pass the exams then? That's easy. I never did pass. All right, get on with the story. Now, shortly before I set out on that journey, I had read in the Arabian Nights about the beautiful princess of China. And wonder of wonders, I chanced upon her in my travels on the banks of the Fuchao River. The landing place was paved in marble, leading up to a pavilion of blue stone. Pavilion is a flat platform. There was a champak tree on each side with a stone lion at its foot. Incense burned in gold censers. Children, incense is a substance burned to produce sweet smell. Censers are containers for burning incense, and the smoke rose in coils. One maid was doing up the princess' hair, while two others fanned her. One with a yak's tail. I somehow appeared before her all of a sudden. She was feeding her milk white peacock with pomegranate seeds. She gave a start and asked, "Who are you?" I remembered in a flash I was the crown prince of Bengal. How could that be? You were only. Questions again. I'm telling you, I was the crown prince of Bengal for that day. And that's what saved me. Otherwise, she would have had me thrown out there and then. Instead, she gave me tea in a golden cup, tea laced with chrysanthemums, bearing the most marvelous scent. Children, these are yellow colored flowers. Did she marry you after all that? Now, that's something very secret. Nobody knows to this day. Kusmi clapped her hands. Children, Kusmi is the name of granddaughter. It happened, I know it happened. You married the princess in the very grandest way. Plainly, she would be very upset if it didn't work out like that. Yes, in the end, she married me all right. I got my princess Angchani and half the kingdom of Hangzhou as well. And then what? Did you set off on your camel again? Else, how did I come back to be your grandpa? Yes, I climbed back onto my camel, the camel that went nowhere. The Fusang bird flew caroling over my head. Children, it means singing over my head. The Fusang bird, where did it live? Oh, it lives nowhere, but its tail feathers are blue, its wings yellow, and there's a brown patch on its shoulders. They flew off in great numbers and perched on the hangcheng tree, that means to rest. I have never heard of the hangcheng tree, nor have I. I only just thought of it as I was telling you the story. That's the sort of person I am. I am never ready beforehand. I tell you whatever I see, even as I'm seeing it. Today, my fusang bird has flown across the sea. I haven't had news of it for ages. But what about your marriage and the princess? I won't answer you that, my dear, so you would better stop asking. And anyway, you mustn't let it upset you. You weren't even born then, remember. So, this is the story about children. I think you all enjoy it with so many different names of cities, tree, bird, etc. So, now I have given you task to do. Task 1. Write the meanings of the following words in your notebook. Children, you can use your dictionary and write properly. Question number 2 is answer the following questions. These 4 questions are to be attempted by you. Number 3, these are the questions which you have to write in your notebook and learn by heart. Now, task 2. I have given you few exercises previously. That was assignment 3, task 2. These are the answers of those nouns. Kindly check your answers and reflect upon. That's it.